I'm on a mission to turn every one of my diecast cars into a reality, and this is one of them. This is a 2004 Toyota MR2 Spyder, and I'm so excited to show you guys this car. These are just amazing. The MR2, the third generation, also known as the W30. First generation was the W10, second generation W20, and then the W30. And these cars are just phenomenal. Very, very, very fun cars to drive with a 4-cylinder 1.8 liter engine with VVTi, making 138 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque with a 5-speed manual. It also comes with a sequential manual transmission and an automatic. What a phenomenal little car, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. Follow me. Back here we have the engine. Now these cars are not practical at all. If you're familiar with any of the MR2s, typically back here you would have trunk space as well as a tiny little bit of space up front on the front. But for this, the third generation, Toyota got rid of any practical space really. I'll show you, there's some in the interior, but not much at all, not even for luggage. So here you have the 4-cylinder with the manual transmission, VVTi. I believe this is the 1ZZ Toyota 4-cylinder, very reliable, nice torquey motor. And for this car, these are just 2,200 pound cars, so a 4-cylinder is nice and adequate. I can even imagine what the 6-cylinder swaps feel like when people perform the swaps on one of these. If you have a V6 MR2 of these, I would love to drive one, so hit me in the comments below. Now let me show you the front part of the front. Now this, believe it or not, took me a few minutes to figure out. There's a little lever right here, and that's how you open the front. There's just the spare tire here, and pretty much no space for anything at all. As you can see, you have the MR midship runabout right on the cover, and there's your spare tire with your jack. You have your washer fluid here, brake, relay, fuse, and that's about all you have access to without having to remove all of the plastic components in here. But let's take the top down. Let me show you around the interior, and then we're gonna go for a drive. Now this top is manual on these cars, very simple to do. There's just 2 clips on the edges, and then just fold it down. Voila! In here you have a very, very interesting cabin. Now, starting with the door handles, they are basically like a roll cage built into your door cards right in here. Very, very unique kind of look. Now this looks similar to, let's say, the FJ Cruiser of the period as well. Very, very distinctive from the MR2 lineup. If you look at the first gen and the second gen, there's a lot of similarities there, but this third gen was completely revolutionized and redesigned. It's completely different than the other one. However, a lot of the driving dynamics remain. Now in here you have your 3-prong steering wheel with 3 pockets or 3 pods for your dash cluster. Very interesting, reminds me a lot of the GS, Lexus GS, the Lexus IS. You have your climate control here, your stereo with CD changer, cup holders right in here, and a little ashtray at the bottom. Now the glove compartment's in here as I showed you before. Now in here we have a little compartment for you to put in your underwear. I mean, I don't know. What would you put in there? Tell me. But it's there. Now, we do have some more storage right here in the back. So either side has a little compartment in here where you can put in a very small suitcase, bags, etc. Now it's really not that big. You can put a few groceries bags in here. Not a whole lot of practicality in this car. This is simply a sports car for you to take out on a fun drive around town, short trips, short weekend trips, nothing major. Now, talking about trips, why don't we get in and go for a drive? Now, as I mentioned, 138 horsepower, but 2,200 pounds, very light car, so it takes off very, very easily, even with the aircon on. Well balanced, the shifting is great in these cars. The clutch, very soft, very smooth, very easy to operate, and certainly heel toe in this car, very, very easy. You can just shift through all the gears with ease, very easy to drive. Now, when you compare that to something like a Miata, you know, technically speaking, the Miata, I feel, is more competent than this car in the performance arena, right? It's more technical, it's got more control, and I feel like it is sturdier. The chassis is more rigid in a Miata of the same time period. However, I feel that this car, the combination of what it is, it's a lot more interesting than the Miata, and for sure a lot more fun. Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, the engine is right behind you screaming all the time. It's got more character and more uniqueness because there's so few of them made that you hardly see any of them anymore. Now, I've been on the hunt for one of these for quite a while. I wanted to get one that was, you know, low miles, in good condition, that I can enjoy and maybe give it a little bit of, you know, touch up and then move on to my next car. I do want to get an S2000, which is right on par with this and the Miata that I had. And let's see what's next. Let the adventure continue. You know, the handling characteristics are very similar to a Miata. You know, the heel toe in this car, I feel, is better, at least for me. It's easier to operate than a Miata. And, you know, handling, because it's short wheelbase, is very similar to a Miata. I mean, these cars just handle so smooth. Now, this is what you call a momentum car because they're so light and such little power that you have to use the momentum of the vehicle to go fast. However, because they're so small and you're so close to the ground, the experience is phenomenal. I mean, this I like much more than a newer Boxster, for instance. The Boxster is more capable and it has a more luxurious feel, which is very nice. But this has a more fun character to it. So if you want to have something that is not a Miata and is a buttload of fun, this is what you want. Now, beautiful aerodynamical look. You can see how the hood goes very, very low near the bumper area, with the fenders kind of like bulging up. That way you always know where your tires are. The air continues to flow this way. Flush door handles to help with the aerodynamics. And believe it or not, this is not just for looks. There are functional vents on either side for cooling the engine and for the engine to breathe as well. Very, very cool design. Now, around the back, you also have the vents, which were traditional with the older MR2s as well, to let some of that heat ventilate out of the engine compartment.